Every day, Nigeria continues to sink under this administration. There is no metric you will use to measure. You will not find out that everything has become worse under this administration. All these might seem local, but they are now taking it to the international level. Imagine Interpol refusing to act on an instruction, a signal raised by Nigeria. Nigeria is a member country, a member of Interpol, and reserves the right to declare anyone wanted. If they declare that person wanted, all member countries that belong to Interpol are obligated to arrest that person and repatriate the person to Nigeria. But this time, Interpol are refusing to act on EFCC's signal. Can you imagine that? Yes, no matter how disgraceful it sounds, but they are right. Before we see what caused all this, let's hear the statement released by Interpol. They said, Interpol will not help any member country pursue politically motivated cases. It all started when Bashir Haske, the son-in-law of Atiku Abubakar, was declared wanted by EFCC. How he became wanted in the first place by EFCC can be traced back to the disappearance of Ojulari, the new MD of NNPCL. It was reported that this guy disappeared for no reason. After the disappearance, it was revealed that he was arrested and detained by the SSS. The reason they detained him was because he awarded contracts to Bashir, Atiku's son-in-law. They found it strange that he dealt with an opposition member, despite the fact that NNPCL doesn't belong to Tinubu and his associates or the people in power. It belongs to Nigerians. And this Bashir has been a long contractor with the NNPCL. But under the last administration of NNPC, that's under Kyari, he avoided him. He didn't award any contract. They didn't have any dealings with Bashir. Then, when he retired and this Ojulari was appointed, he started dealings with Atiku Abubakar's son-in-law. That was why he was disappeared. And it was reported that during that disappearance, he was forced to sign his resignation letter as the MD of NNPCL. It was also reported that when Tinubu was briefed on the whole saga, he was furious. He couldn't understand why someone he appointed was dealing with an opposition member. Going by this mentality, what they are trying to say is that even if you're a qualified Nigerian, even if your company that pays taxes to Nigerian coffers qualifies for something, that you will not get it because any member of the opposition can be traced to you. This is wrong. The money and these contracts don't belong to the people in power. It belongs to the Nigerian people. These people must understand that if they get to power, they should drop politics and face governance. This has always been the problem in Nigeria. This has always been why Nigeria remains where it is today. When you get to power, you drop everything called politics and face governance. What is governance? You have to give the best to Nigerian people. You have to always give them their money's worth. Yes, that's why all contracts must be tendered for. And the people that are tendering these contracts to will now weigh all the tenders and see who is the best company that can handle the job. This is not politics, this is governance. And even if an opposition member qualifies, he should be given the job. The contracts are not being awarded by the people in power. The contract is being awarded by the Nigerian state. And the Nigerian state should not have a political face. Yes, despite the fact that political parties install people who are in power. But the Nigerian state represents the Nigerian people. These people must separate all these in order to be able to deliver to Nigerians good governance. If they continue to play politics with everything, look at where it has left us. Interpol that we belong to are now refusing our orders because they can clearly see that it is politically motivated. Yes, EFCC is claiming that this guy jumped bail, that the first time they invited him, they told him to be reporting regularly. Why? All this is abuse of office. What kind of investigation do the authorities conduct that they require a suspect or an accused person to be reporting to their office every time? What is this? Have they become the court? All this unnecessary abuse of power. If you invite someone the first time to question him, what other information do you need that requires him to be coming every time? If you want to detain him and charge him to court. Let the court give him bail and he will become a free person. All the time, report. That alone will make someone to say, let me just leave these people. I know I didn't do anything, but I will subject myself to all this unnecessary harassment. Yes, it is harassment. If you invite someone the first time, you should conclude everything because the person has a job. Yes, all these abuse of power they involve themselves in. Imagine EFCC in Abuja inviting someone that lives in Sokoto to come to Abuja. That person will pay for his flight to Abuja. EFCC is not going to pay for that. And if he's required to be reporting once in a week, the person will pay in that flight to come to Abuja every week. Who is going to pay for all this? Is the person under punishment? Are they considering whether the person is guilty or not? Or the fact that they are investigating him, they've pronounced the person guilty? All these unnecessary abuse of powers. How do they mean report regularly? Are they talking to their employee or their slave? All these people, when they find themselves in power, they start to misbehave unnecessarily. You see, the people in charge in the EFCC now, they are contributing to all this. Even if they want to succumb to their political paymasters, the people that appointed them to office want them to go after an opposition, they should do it in a way that no one will actually understand what is going on. If they have any information on this guy, after inviting him for the first time, charge him to court. That's how it is done. Once you've charged that person to court, you've washed your hands. The prosecutor will now continue from there. Yes, but instead of charging the person to court, you go on an endless investigation. The person you are investigating is not obliged to help you and give you information. That's how it works. If someone is guilty, he knows he's guilty. He will not give you the information that you will use to nail him in court. It's not possible. So the information you get from your investigation plus the one you got when you interrogated the person is enough for you to make up a case and go to court. That's how it should be. Not involve yourself in an endless investigation. You say you are investigating something. Do the investigative work now. If you want to search his premises, his companies, his everywhere, his home, obtain court warrants and go and conduct the search so that it will help your investigation. You don't need to be telling someone to be reporting. Reporting to do what? Or have the EFCC become a court? It's completely unnecessary if you actually have a case. Yes, the person can actually go to court and say, no, these people are disturbing my life. My work, my daily routine can't continue. Every day they are harassing me to come, to report. No, the person can actually go to court and obtain an injunction to restrain EFCC. Yes, if they have a case, arrest the person, get the little you have and charge the person to court. This is the normal procedure. Since the EFCC chairman cannot boldly tell the people pushing him, hey, I can't do this job. We have found out the guy did nothing. He executed a contract. This is not in any way saying that Bashir is not guilty. No. But the procedure shows that they don't have anything against this guy. Or maybe they have something, but maybe they feel it is not tangible enough to nail him in court. So all the playing around, invite, come here, it doesn't make any sense. You see, if you watch closely what is going on under this administration, you will see that their modus operandi has always been to circulate money or wealth within a particular circle. If you don't belong to that circle, if you don't belong inside, nothing, even scraps will not fall from the table so that you can pick it up. No. Even on the political side, you will see that they are now going after oil-producing states that used to be strongholds of PDP, the opposition. From Delta, Akwa Ibom, Rivers State, Delta and Akwa Ibom state governors have become to APC with their cabinets. Rivers State is under the direct control of Tinubu. Imagine appointing a sole administrator to come and solve the insecurity or whatever they claimed that was happening in Rivers State at the time. Imagine that person is now conducting local government elections. So you can imagine what is going on. They are going after the states that can fund the opposition. These states, being under APC, will no longer fund PDP or any other opposition party. So they want to starve the opposition of funds. If you don't have money, you cannot campaign, you cannot do anything. In fact, you will say, instead of suffering without money in the opposition, it's better I join them. Joining them means joining APC. So you see their strategy. That's why when you look at the appointments that Tinubu make, you will see, it comes from one circle alone. Yes, he never appoints outsiders. So this mentality is very, very wrong. That's why Nigerians must understand what they are up against. Nigerian wealth is now being seen as private wealth. that if you don't belong to the ruling party, you can never get anything. Even crumbs falling off from the table, you can never get it. So you can see where it has led us now. International organizations that we belong to openly refuse to act when we make a request, because they can see that obviously these are politically motivated. When you get to power, like already said, you must drop politics and face governance. When it's time for politics again, you drop governance and start politics. After politics, you go back to governance. This is why politics is harming governance in Nigeria. Everything is politicized. When they get to office, instead of dropping politics to appoint professionals who will do the job, whether they belong to your party or not, but you must appoint professionals to deliver the goods to Nigerian people. If you don't appoint professionals, governance suffers, Nigerian people suffer. But they do the complete opposite. They don't care. Whoever they feel will do their bidding, that's the person they will appoint, not necessarily if the person is competent for the job or not.